Hello, this video that I'm making today is actually for parents, and since we just found out that we are going to be out of school longer than we anticipated, I really wanted to make a video to show you some of the things that you can be doing with your child while you are reading together. So in my classroom, how my class is set up, students are with me for an hour and 30 minutes, and the first 30 minutes or so, not even that, mostly the first 20 minutes, is me introducing what we are going to be doing. So the videos that I've been sending out, that's what we would have been doing in the first part of class. And then they usually have an exit slip, which is where they just read a short little paragraph and then answer a few questions. And then after that, we go into centers. And we have 4 centers in my classroom. We have the writing center, which is where they do a writing journal. We have the seat work center, which is where they do independent practice on a worksheet or something related to that. And then we have technology, which is iReady. And then it's my center where they come to my table and we read based on their reading level, and we work on reading strategies. When they come to my table, I'm going to show you all how to do that so that when they're reading with you, they're still getting that practice, because every student gets at least 15 minutes of reading time with me one-on-one like that a day. And then some get more than that because I pull them during RTI for even more practice. So I want to show you what we do during that time so that you can be doing those things with your child. So if you go to Reading A to Z, if that's the book that you're reading, you can also use a book of your choice. You can use Epic. Any of those would be fine. I'm just using Reading A to Z because it's something that you all have access to. So when you're starting a new book together, the first thing that you should do is introduce the book to them. So this one is called Yellowstone, A Place of Wild Wonders. So they might not know what Yellowstone is, or they might not know what wild wonders means. So what you would do is just give them some background information about what Yellowstone is, which it's a national park. You could pull up pictures. You could, if you've ever been there, you could tell them about it. Things like that. Just giving them background knowledge and asking them what they already know about it. After that, if your book has some vocabulary words right here, now would be a good time to introduce them. If your child can tell you what those things mean, that would be great. If they don't know what they mean, then you need to tell them and have them make real life connections. So, for example, if they don't know what a haven is a safe area that's protected. And I would ask them, what do you think is one of your havens? And they would probably say, like, my bedroom, or being at home is a haven for me. So have them make real life connections, maybe show them pictures of things if they're not sure what it is. After you talk about the vocabulary words, then they can go ahead and start reading. I always tell them to read the table of contents. We've talked about text features. That's going to tell you what you're going to be reading about. After that, when they start reading, try not, and I know it's so hard, I know it's really hard not to do this, but try not to tell them what the word they're struggling with is. For example, if they are having trouble with the word shoot, instead of saying it's shoot, try to say things like, what is the first sound? Which would be sh. And break it apart. Have them look for pieces that they know. And really try to get them to figure that word out. Have them try a different vowel sound. Sometimes it's a long vowel sound. Sometimes it's a short vowel sound. Try to get them to try those vowel sounds. Have them ask themselves, is what they're saying, would that make sense? For example, if I said shout here, imagine a place where streams of hot water shout out of the ground. Do things shout out of the ground? No. So you would ask them, does that make sense? Try to reread it and figure out what would make sense in that sentence. If a student makes a mistake, like let's say they say shout out of the ground and they don't catch it themselves, stop them and say, why don't we try rereading that? And what would make sense there? It's all about making sense. If they're having trouble, have them look at picture clues, have them really think about what they're reading so that they can figure those words out. And if none of that works, you can try to have them break it up into syllables. And if you're not sure about what the syllables would be, you can always, on your phone, like let's take the word grizzly, you could put grizzly broken into syllables. And you should be able to find something that tells you how to break it into syllables. So it'd be 2 syllables. So grizzly. And we clap things out all the time, so you can have them clap it out as well. But that's how they should be reading with you. They shouldn't be relying on you, especially on reading A to Z. I assigned these levels at the beginning of the school year, and they've already come so far from that point. So these are all books that they should be able to read, and they should be able to figure out those words. They might need a little prompting, and they might need some background information, but they should be able to figure it out. That's how the productive struggle is how they're going to grow. And I don't want them to get behind because we're not in school and they're not being made to do that. So please, if you can, I know this is a lot to ask of you, please make sure that your children are reading with you in that way at least Monday through Friday once a day, because they would be getting that time in school. I appreciate you all and all of the hard work that you are doing with your kids and making sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do. I know some of you are working, and that makes it hard to do things. So I really truly appreciate it. But I'm going to start next week kind of telling you which I have been making the videos, but I'm going to start telling you, like sending what they would have been working on in class and the journal that they would have had, and all of that next week. We were going to spend 2 weeks on theme. So last week we spent some time on theme, and next week we would have spent time on theme. And the week after that, we were going to review all of our fiction strategies. So that's where we are currently. And thank you so much. If you have any questions about this, please feel free to ask me. I really appreciate your help. Thank you.